Welcome to my movie library. I've got three things to show you tonight that I picked up. I'm going to give kind of mini reviews for a couple of these here. One that I haven't watched yet, so I can't really give a mini review of that one. I'll just give you kind of my thoughts, my initial thoughts on it. So let's just jump right into it. First up, I picked up Batman: Gotham by Gaslight. Now, this was the first Elseworlds story that was ever done. If you're not sure what Elseworlds is, basically what that means is when they'll take like a regular character, like Marvel did it with, and called it kind of like a what if type of thing, where they'll take a character and put him in a different scenario or a different time frame. And this one here is like, if you're a Jack the Ripper fan or you're a Batman fan, this is really the best of both worlds. This is like kind of like a steampunk era Batman type thing, Batman back in the Victorian days, and Jack the Ripper is going around Gotham and he's killing people. There's a lot of really cool callbacks to the Batman comic book. So if you're familiar with the Batman comic, you're going to notice a lot of the characters that are being referenced within it. If you're not, it's still a great Jack the Ripper story. Now, if you are familiar with Batman Gotham by Gaslight, one thing you should know, and this is a little bit of a spoiler, but not really. I'm not going to tell you the killer is or anything like that, because there is like a reveal to this one here. It does not follow along the same lines as the original Gotham by Gaslight graphic novel does. Now, a lot of cases that would get me groaning and get me really upset, much like The Killing Joke, which I personally think really sucked, and it sucked big time. This one here, I love the way this one goes. I love the reveal. I love the way it was done. I love who the killer turned out to be. It was just really well done. There's a great 20-minute feature on here, basically behind the scenes, talking about Gotham by Gaslight, talking about the graphic novel itself, talking about the way the changes that they had to make, and they were good changes for a change. By the way, there's another commentary, and there's a sneak peek on like the other on like Suicide Squad: Hell to Pay, which I think is the next one that comes out, and they also have 2 episodes of the shows here. There's 1 episode of Batman Brave and the Bold and 1 episode of Batman the Animated Series. The Batman the Animated Series one is Showdown, and I think the Brave and the Bold one has something to do with, like, maybe it was Enter the Demon or something like that. So it's one similar to that. So it's just some cool different ones to bonuses to put on there, which is always fun. Next up is my 4K release. So this is I think my 35th 4K that I own. And of course 35 4Ks and 1 4K TV series. And that is Murder on the Orient Express. I was unsure about this one, actually, to be totally honest with you. I'm a really big Agatha Christie fan. I grew up reading Hercule Poirot, Tommy Tuppett's, Miss Marple, reading all those books. And I think was it N&M or Why Didn't They Ask Evan? One of those was one of my first. But as growing up as a kid back in the 70s and 80s, I did get to see a lot of different ones, and David Chichette was my favorite. But I loved I really loved, honestly, although he doesn't seem a lot like Pro. I love Peter Ustinov. I do. I love the way like, I just like the characters, all those big actors that were in those. He did like 3 theater ones, and then he did 3 more TV movies as well. Because I thought it was kind of different, unique. So Kenneth Branagh both directs and stars in this movie as Hercule Poirot, the great Belgian detective with his little grey cells. It is Murder on the Orient Express, and if you've ever seen the story, then you know pretty much going in what it is. It's, you probably already, if you've read the book and if you've seen any other edition of this, you probably know how this turns out. So we're not really going to go into that. It's a beautifully shot film. It is gorgeously shot, and some people have mentioned the mustache that he has there, and I'm like, that's one huge mustache. Now, that being said, when Albert Finney was making the 1974 Murder on the Orient Express, Agatha Christie was not a fan of Albert Finney's mustache. The character of Poirot supposed to have an enormous mustache, actually, and it's not even a real mustache. Well, it's not by the time he gets to Curtains, anyway. Curtains in the last Poirot book, which I don't want to ruin for you guys, but Agatha Christie did a series of Poirot books going up to his very much final adventure called Curtains. And that's when you find out about the toupee and the fake mustache. But he wears, he wears the big mustache here, trying to be more, in a way, in that way, it's trying to be more like the books. It's a great cast. It's an all-star cast. They got like Daisy Ridley in here. Johnny Depp is in this one. Derek Jacobi actually has a role in this one, as does his life partner, who he's in as well. Dame Judi Dench is in here. Olivia Colman, if you're a fan of like shows like Broadchurch and stuff like that, Olivia Colman's in here. It's just an incredible cast. There's so many actors in here. The guy, and his name escapes me right now, but he's the guy that played Aaron Burr in the production of the most famous actor played Aaron Burr in the production of Hamilton. He's got a big role in this one here as well. There he is, right there. My better half didn't recognize him because she didn't know him with like the hair and stuff on. But anyway, it's fantastic. I enjoyed it. Like, I thoroughly enjoyed this film. Kenneth Branagh has won me over. I cannot wait to 2019 to see Death in the Nile. I definitely will be adding that to my collection as well, because that is the next one that he is doing. If you like these type of films, I really strongly recommend that you go out and you pick this one up and support this style. There's not enough of these made nowadays. I love these old mystery style films. It's kind of like these drawing room type of things, where basically you get like an all-star cast. It's got a cool old school style mystery, and it's just fun. Like, I want more of this type of stuff. This is more of the type of stuff that I want to see. Tonight it was 2 for 2. Batman, Gotham, Gaslight, and Murder on the Orient Express were two fantastic films. I was utterly pleased by both of them. And this is the one that I got come in the mail, the one I've been waiting for a while now. When Shout Select announced that they were doing this double feature, I knew it was something that I personally had to have. I'm a huge fan of film noir. I'm a huge fan of Robert Mitchum. I'm a huge fan of Philip Marlowe. And this is For Well My Lovely and The Big Sleep. Two great ones. Robert Mitchum plays Philip Marlowe, and Robert Mitchum is older when he's playing Marlowe in these films, but rather than just have him play, just be an older actor that's playing the character of Philip Marlowe, they actually like talk about the fact that he is older. They don't skirt around that fact. It's actually part of the story itself. It's part of the plot, part of who he is, and I think it helps to breathe more life into the character, so to say. So there's a bunch of like different actors, like big ones in here, like with the Big Sleep. You have guys like Oliver Reed, Sarah Miles, James Stewart, Kenny Clark, and you get like in the so they got all the names here anyway. There's a ton of people. There's John Ireland's in one. Joan Collins is in one of these. Jack Halloran, Dean Stanton, Sylvester Stallone. There's a lot of big stars actually in both of these films. I'm really looking forward to seeing this. And there's like some features on here as well. There's an interview with actress Sarah Miles. New interview. There's The Big Sleep on Location. Includes a brief interview with the director Michael Winner. Maximum Jakubowski at Murder One. Okay, interview. The Big Sleep vintage featurette and theatrical trailers for both films. So they're both on one. And if you take this out, see Mitchum, and so there you go. For All My Lovely, The Big Sleep. Excited to watch all these. Hold on a sec.